Yo, dude, I think it is totally unfair that you gave me a 0 on my paper on Motley Crue and Megadeth.
Oh yes, and remind me what the thesis of this thrilling report was. I get so many stunning specimens this time of year.
I had the best thesis statement of anybody in the class. Megadeth rules because they are awesome, and Motley Crue drools because they suck.
I simply can't imagine how I could have given a paper with that level of clarity and insight anything less than an A+.
You said that my entire paper was plagiarized, which is really stupid because I don't even know anybody named Gary.
Ah, you mean plagiarized? Now I recall. Almost every sentence of your paper was lifted from another source. The first paragraph came from Wikipedia. Another one came from the review section on Amazon.com. And the conclusion came from the album notes to something called Killing Is My Business.
You said it was supposed to be a research paper. And now you want to punish me for doing research. And it's not like I was trying to get away with anything. I put the Amazon review and the album cover at the end of the paper where it says, "Works recited."
I was thrilled to a dangerous state of distraction that you took the initiative to look at 2 internet sites and read the liner notes to a compact disc that, I'm sure, is one of your most treasured possessions. However, just placing the sources you used at the end of your paper is not sufficient. You also need to indicate in the body of your paper where you used thoughts or ideas from another source. And, if you use somebody else's exact words, you must enclose them in quotation marks.
Yeah, well, we did it a totally different way in my high school. How was I supposed to know that you had all of these special rules that nobody else seems to know about?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps you could have read the section on avoiding plagiarism that I assigned from the textbook. Or you could have graced us with your presence during one of the 2 days that I went over this in class. And there is an off chance that you could have picked up some of the essentials from the library's plagiarism tutorial that all freshmen are required to complete during their orientation sessions.
Like, do you remember everything you did in your freshman orientation?
I remember every last cave I painted and dinosaur race that I rode in. But back to your paper. We still have the small matter of the Wikipedia article that you did not deign to cite at all.
I've got you there. If you go back and look, you will see that I did not use one single word from Wikipedia.
That is true. You changed every single word to a near synonym, rendering the passage ridiculous as well as plagiarized. If I recall, you changed the sentence, "Megadeth is a heavy metal band founded in Los Angeles in 1983, to "Megadeth is a dense metallic ensemble begun in Southern California in the same year my sister Mary was born."
See, you even agree with me. I didn't plagiarize.
Unfortunately, that is not quite true. One of the most common forms of plagiarism is taking words from a source and making small changes to them in order to present them as your own. This is sometimes called a half-baked paraphrase. And it is always called plagiarism. The rules for citation are really quite simple. Cite anything that you use from another source, whether it is a fact, an idea, a way of arranging things, or an overall point of argument or analysis. If you are in doubt, cite it. Nobody will ever give you an F for citing too much. And if you use words directly from another source, cite them. And enclose them in quotation marks. If you do this faithfully, for the rest of your college career, there is a chance that I will not have to write a letter of recommendation for you to transfer to an offshore rodeo clown school.
Wait a minute. Can you really go to school to be something cool like that? And in another country even? I am so out of here when this semester is over. Sayonara, sucker. And you can quote me on that.